Hello, I am Super Orange Cat, and here I am today with Toonami's ratings from February 22nd, 2020. Let's start at the top of the block. The finale of Dr. Stone pulls in a .24, Sword Art Online, Alicization, War of the Underworld gets a .23, Demon Slayer pulls in a .22, Food Wars pulls in a .20, Black Clover to .18, Golden Wind at a .17, Shippuden at a .14, The Promised Neverland at a .13, and Attack on Titan at a .12. Overall, I thought this was actually a pretty decent week for the block in terms of ratings. First off, I mentioned I was a little worried last week's video that Dr. Stone was going to have a bit of a drop in the ratings because it was not preceded by a My Hero Academia episode. In fact, this might be the first time in a long time that there wasn't a My Hero Academia episode outside of a marathon night. But .24 is a pretty good number. It goes up a tiny bit for its finale. So we say goodbye to that show for now. It'll certainly be back when season 2 gets picked up by Toonami, which, I mean, considering it's already been announced Japan's getting season 2, it's going to be a guarantee that sometime after that it will be on Toonami. Then you have War of the Underworld pulling a .23, and it's holding pretty steady. Although, personally, the quality of the show has really gone downhill really fast for me, at least in my opinion, over the last 2 or 3 episodes in particular, which is part of the reason why I stopped doing weekly reactions to that show. Then you have Demon Slayer just being steady as ever to .22. Going from being a 130 show to a consistent show over .2 is a pretty good goal, pretty good accomplishment. Then you have Food Wars, also a show that everyone's kind of forgotten's on the block, but apparently enough people are watching it's a .20. It's just kind of awkwardly blending in considering how it's probably of all the shows on the block, the one that fits in the least with all the ecchi and whatnot. Then you have Black Clover, again, steady as a rock at a .18. That's a great number to ask for. And then you have Golden Wind, which is usually the weakest spot of the night in terms of ratings, but 36th in cable for a night, for being the lowest rated premiere on Toonami for that night, really isn't that bad at all. Golden Wind, JoJo holding on, which I think really solidifies the case that when the Stone Ocean gets made, I think it will eventually come to Toonami too. You have Shippuden at a .14, and then we say goodbye to the Promised Neverland until December. I predict December. I believe the season 2 of the Promised Neverland's airing in Japan starting in October. I think give a month or two after that, it'll be an early December premiere on Toonami. My predictions. And like I said, if season 1 of a show airs on Toonami, it is a virtual guarantee. Season 2 does as well. So very promising there. And Attack on Titan. Also, the last time we'll be seeing it for a while. Probably the last time we're going to see it on the block until whenever its new season airs, which I don't know what the date is. I couldn't really find it when I quickly looked for it, so probably still a ways away. But nonetheless, I thought this was actually kind of a solid night for the block. Although, if I'm to say one thing, this is kind of a lingering specter over Toonami, is Jason DeMarco came out like a few weeks ago and said, oh, the block is fine. We have 6 new shows in production, Toonami exclusive shows for production. And while we know about 2, we know Uzumaki is going to be counted as one of them. We know the new Blade Runner show, will be one of those 2. So what's the other 4? And we've got no information about it. So were these shows that were just like on the table, like scripts on the table, concepts on the table? Were these things that you're actually in some type of pre-production? Is animation or cells even being made for it at this point? So like, and I think the best time for Toonami to make announcements, especially since a lot of people are really asking for more Uzumaki stuff, and Toonami has actually been not forthcoming at all recently about Uzumaki. So it'll be interesting to see here on out what comes of it. Usually the biggest avenue for more information is conventions. And I'm not sure, but I think the next big convention that I know Toonami will be appearing in will be MomoCon in Atlanta in late May, which they definitely will make announcements of some sort there, probably like a new show. Hopefully by then they'll have like information on what the other 4 shows are. But again, and I think everyone has a right at this point to be skeptical with shows being cut off the block, with them announcing that this wasn't just a one-off, like they want to have a shorter block now. So with the next show that comes off the block will be Sword Art Online Alicization, and I can guarantee you that show will have no replacement And that's going to start making people a lot more worried because I'll cut it down to a 3-hour block. And if they don't replace Demon Slayer, which I believe will be the next show after that off the block, everyone will absolutely lose their minds. So, although at least on paper, Toonami seems to be doing well right now, I believe there is still cause for concern for the block. A lot of ominous red flags are being raised right now. So, I mean, stay tuned for that. But again, ratings this week pretty solid, albeit with The Promised Neverland, with Attack on Titan, with Dr. Stone disappearing from the block to only be seen again in months when their new seasons air. And we do get My Hero Academia back next week, so there's at least that. It'll be interesting to see what I believe Sword Online's the second show next week. How that holds up from a My Hero Academia audience. I think they'll do a pretty good job of it, honestly. I think those shows really pair up together well. There's a lot of crossover, in my opinion, in terms of the fan base. Considering that outside of Naruto, that's probably the two biggest franchises on the block. So, what do you guys think? What are your opinions on Toonami's schedule right now? I love reading your opinions down below. If you like this content, more content like this, please subscribe, and politely touch that notification button. I am Super Orange Cat, and that is all.